coming in hot. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Monday show. RFC After Hours episode number 164. How we all doing, everybody? It's 6:30 tonight, and boy, have we don't have a lot to talk about, but we do have something important to talk about. It's a bit of a recurring story you might notice here. The Nerd City saga continues, and look, to cut the music here for a minute, it's not like, I can already see it. People are like, you're milking this dude. This topic was introduced like, 2 months ago or something. And granted, you did take a break, but we're still on this subject. Well, what do you do when, you cover a story and it goes on for so long and you're like, all right, we're pretty much done here. And then it just escalates to a whole other degree where it would just be weird to ignore it, I mean, Nerd City goes on SFTP today. How are we not going to talk about that and throw it on the screen and watch it? Give some commentary over it. Welcome everybody to the chat. Boblox, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. I mean, earlier you said, I'm ready for the next big drama. I'm ready for the next big thing. And there's been such, gap of no drama. I think this is it, dude, because the shit Nerd City said on that stream, I wasn't listening fully because I was kind of just, a bit appalled or, in some sort of zone when I was listening to it. I'll have to rewatch it, but, it was, pretty interesting.
Don't you worry. We'll throw that shit up in just a moment. This shit is getting big. Yeah, I'm hearing, I don't know if any of this is public, but I'm hearing certain YouTubers are kind of getting ready to do videos on this. This is no longer just a Legion exclusive, if you want to put it there. People are kind of catching on and noticing some things that are a little interesting. And let me clarify this right now, all right? We're not saying that Nerd City is a bad guy in particular. He's given us so many unclear messages, right? Because you have a guy who on one hand says one thing, but then on the other hand goes on a show and says, I indirectly dropped a nuke on YouTube, and we need to go to the journalists, and he just says a bunch of stuff that's just so, I hesitate to use the word problematic, because, it's kind of cringe, but it is kind of problematic speak when you have a guy who is, as big as this guy is and is, talking about, what would be normally construed as a lot of pro-regulation things, as much as he says he's personally anti-regulation. And then he's going on saying we need to, befriend and talk to the journalists or whatever. Journalists do not have your best interest in mind, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to break it to you, but journalists are scumbags, dude. Let me tell you something. Of all the things I've noticed since I've become I don't want to say become a YouTuber, since I've been doing this stupid shit, is that journalists are out to get you. It's not just a political thing. You think it's purely resided to that side of the internet? You're wrong. There's 99, or I'll say 95% of journalists you meet do not have your interest in mind. They are out to write up the thing that gets the most clicks. And usually that's negative, and usually it's very anti-YouTube, because YouTube is the new media, and they don't like that, because the people that used to tune in to their articles and read their stuff are watching YouTube videos to get, private, news, private broadcasting. That's what they're tuning into. So when I see Nerd City go on SFTP today and say that we need to befriend the journalists, we need to show the journalists what's happening with Lele Pond so that we don't get another crisis on YouTube, I just have to scratch my head. And that wasn't the only thing. He admitted that, Nick's original point, that, what Nerd was doing was kind of putting a welcoming mat to the government to allow regulations on YouTube. He basically admitted, he was like, yeah, I kind of, sent them a little bit of a nuke there, which is, not good. I mean, he didn't say he was in favor of that, but he admitted that, yeah, what I am doing is kind of dangerous, which is, I hate this shit. It's just why? Why do you go on why do you go on these shows, and say one thing, but then you go on SFTP and say all this other incriminating shit? This guy sucks live. Let me tell you something. Jesus, but I am getting a little ahead of myself. Yeah. All right, let me give some shout outs in the chat here. What's going on, everybody? I see we got a big crowd tonight. Well, not big crowd, but a lot of people just tuned in instantly. Usually it takes a minute for people to kind of roll in. Tonight, pretty instantly, people are kind of, tune in to see what's up. So let's give some shout outs here. Rocket Ralph, what's going on? Two guys in a pub, but Dr. Shivago. Late Night with Broski, what's going on? Dark Septa Girl, let's see, Crispy Chips. Jada, what's going on? One Little Alex, Mayor of Ohio. Musky Boy Mike, what's going on? Jesus. BLT, T-Ghost, what's up? And Mo Diggity, what's going on, everyone? What's going on? Good to see you people here. People point out no intro. Yeah, some things are changing, you know? Yeah, I got some stuff in the works behind the scenes, you know? Maybe doing a little bit of IRL.
Are you going to make a new intro?
Yeah, I will. There's also going to be some other stuff coming, too. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be epic, so hold on to your fucking seats, boys. It's going to be great. I'm checking my DMs right now. Okay, so okay. There's stuff going on behind the scenes. Let me tell you something. Tipster tossing 5. If there was any speculation about him going to the media before, it doesn't exist anymore. He literally admitted to talking to the press.
If there was any speculation about him going to the media before, it doesn't exist anymore. He literally admitted to talking to the press.
Alright, we get it, TTS. That is true. Yeah. I mean, it's always an ever-changing story with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where's the consistency? That's what I want to know. Why does it always change? Like, I'm not pro regulation, but I talk to the media.
He really seems like he is out of his element when he is live and tries to cater to the audience that he is in front of.
That could be the case.
I don't know if he was necessarily trying to cater to the audience he was in front of in that instance. Because then he would cater towards Tommy, and because Tommy's audience.
Yeah.
And he didn't really do that.
I don't know. We'll give it a watch in just a moment here. I'm kind of, easing into this.
Damn, so many donations coming in.
To be honest, it's idiotic because many of these same organizations also have their own YT channel that gets a lot of viewerships. It's kind of like killing your own golden goose.
I also found this whole, this is a 2-part donation. All right, well, let me read that. And thank you guys for the donations right off the bat here. I do appreciate it. As soon as TTS reads that in just a moment, very supportive tonight right off the bat. I do appreciate it.
I think TTS skipped over the first one, only read the second.
Technically mean why tours don't represent your interests as well? Lol, I also find the whole journalists don't like YT because they take away viewership.
All right, let me read this. Wouldn't that technically mean YouTubers don't represent your interests as well? I also find this whole journalists don't like YouTube thing because they take away censorship to be honestly idiotic, because many of these same organizations also have their own YouTube. Their own YouTube channel does not even matter in the grand scheme of things compared to like their websites and their actual publications. You know, do you think ABC News like relies on their YouTube channel? I could be wrong on this, you know, fair enough, but I don't think so. I don't think their little YouTube channels really matter that much. It's kind of like killing your own golden goose. Well, I mean, we've seen multiple times, you know, repeated events where journalists, they don't have a very positive outlook on YouTube. I mean, dare I point to PewDiePie? It's almost, you know, too easy.
Yeah, that's the best example,
I just wanted to hear the
sure.
noise again.
Thank you, Malcolm from the North. That actually originated from a failure GTA stream. Me and, wait, I think you were there for that, actually. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that was fucking funny. Right off the bat, yeah. You guys are very fucking supportive tonight. You know, it's turning into a donation stream all of a sudden.
People are excited.
Yeah, they are. So
by the way, I love the new layout for the chat in particular. It looks nice, like the chat on the stream.
Yeah, I've got. So I was working on some stuff, and I was thinking I was trying to like build a layout, but then I was kind of almost like wanting to like ditch it almost and kind of go to a more simplistic thing, because I was looking at the older streams, and at least to me, it looks like it was kind of like visually like cluttered. So I've kind of just simplified it a little bit. Now we're gonna switch scenes in just a moment to catch up on the Tommy stream right here, and it's a little more loaded right here, but I think it looks, you know, better, at least in my opinion.
Fuck you, Augie.
Oh, thank you. Fuck you. Thank you for the donation. I'll take it. You want to insult me in the donation? Sure, go ahead. Fucking, what did I do tonight? You know, get all these donations right off the bat. I do appreciate it. And, you know, to the guy who's donating, talking, saying my point's idiotic, you know, obviously we, you know, disagree, but I appreciate the donation nonetheless. And you have been supportive of the show. Yeah, we don't run an echo chamber here. Believe it or not, you know, Tommy C's puppet of a stream right here. Oh my god, dude, that pissed me off so much. We'll get into that in just a moment.
That was a bit offensive, considering he said I was a puppet of Tommy C, which is like the polar opposite. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that I'm not a puppet of Tommy, and Tommy's not a puppet of me. We are not even on good terms. So
oh man, that was so fucking annoying, dude. Like, I was watching the stream and shit, and he's just like, you know, Tommy mentioned like me, you, and I think Tipster. And basically, Nerd was like, just dismissing our shit, being like, "Oh, they're all puppets of you guys," you know. And it's like, these guys, you know, they're not worthy of being responded to because they just reiterated what Tommy C says. Like, I've heard, like, it would make sense to say Nick's the puppet, even though obviously I take offense to that, equally as well. But it would make more sense, right? Because Tommy C being the ringleader, like, that's a new one. You know what I mean? That's a fucking... Yeah, what the hell?
I was going to donate, but I saw regularly coming.
What?
And there were... regulation coming.
Oh. $3. Fucking GG, Nick. GG. Oh,
I thought Boblax hated Tommy. Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
he does.
I wouldn't say I hate Tommy. It's just that I don't like it when he talks, when he spreads stuff that I think is lies about me. Obviously, he thinks differently. I feel like Tommy hates me more than I hate him. I'm more just reacting to how he acts.
Boblax, you're a pawn of Tommy C. You know what I mean? Obviously. It should not be news here, you know.
Stop lying, you and Tommy are secret BFFs.
Oh my god. Listen guys, I'm not here to fucking waste time. I'm like ready to get right into this because I saw this shit earlier today. I almost thought about it like for like a split second. I was thinking maybe we should just start the show like now, you know, like at 4:30 instead of 6:30.
Can we talk about the dog fights on cruise ships?
Shut the fuck up, Nick.
Oh my god.
All right, guys.
But yeah, I really do need to rewatch this because I mean I only watched it once. I didn't fully like listen to every detail. So you might have some genuine reactions from me, guys.
Let's fucking
as we get into this.
Like I said, it's not. We could intro this for like, you know, fucking 20 more minutes or whatever. But I'm just
honestly the donations are what.
Jesus
Stop lying,
Christ.
Boblax. You and Tommy are secret BFFs.
All right, let's get into this.
God, every other message is fucking super chat, dude.
Yeah, they are fucking coming in tonight.
Damn, the generosity.
I'm gonna leave his chat on so that we can fucking take a look at this. Holy fucking super
yeah, the
chats.
Chat replay is interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Because you saw this like with the chat. I listened to this. Now you said the chat was divided when he was
just
on.
finished shooting a review.
Yeah, initially. After a while, I stopped paying attention, and I think it went to Tommy's side.
If I hate Biggie or not. Mixing eggnog and coffee was one messy business. I am becoming a Tommy puppet.
Oh shit! Wait, did you like it? I just finished review coffee shooting. The jury is still out of a. Damn, dude, fucking post that. We'll actually watch it on the show, dude. Fucking post that shit. Can we talk about Hunt Down the Freak? Shut the fuck up, all right? Listen, we got big important shit to talk about. Fucking hates. Thank you for.
Also, by the way, in Tommy's stream, I think the thumbnail being on the side is so perfect in this case because it literally looks like Nerd is trying to like preach the good word to Tommy, and he's not taking any of it, dude.
That's so funny. It's true,
so
though.
fucking fitting.
But
yeah.
After this, we'll take a look at a little convo he and Willie Mack had. I think Willie Mack took some issue to this. You know what's? I pointed this out on my Twitter, but every single time.
Can we talk about Hunter Freeman?
No. Thank you for the shit. Every single time Nerd City makes a video, do you notice this? He gets more and more and more backlash. Every single time. Like, it started with just Nick, and then, like, you know, you were like, yeah, this kind of makes sense. And then, like, more and more people are kind of seeing the arguments. And after this stream and shit, like, Jesus Christ. I mean,
yeah,
he's starting to lose it, you know what I mean? I don't mean that on, like, a big scale, like his career is dying or something stupid like that.
Before today, Legion were jerks who were being big meanies to Nerd City. Now everyone sees what Nick was saying.
Yeah.
The truth is out. Nick called it.
There you go, tipsters speaking facts. All right, listen, I don't want this to be just a shekel stream, although I do appreciate the support. I think the viewers are here for a reason, so let's just fucking jump right into this. But by all means, I do appreciate it very much.
Wait, should we look at the Willie Mack tweets first, because they happened before the stream?
Do you think so?
Timeline-wise, it would make more sense, yeah. I can link it to you right now.
I got the thread,
Okay.
On the docket right here. Honestly, yeah, sure, fuck it. Let's leave you guys sizzling for a minute.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about the stream for a while, so it's going to be harder to segue into Willie Mack if we do it afterward.
Yeah, fuck it. Let me pull this shit up right here. We can get right into this. Yeah. Fucking hell, dude. I just looked at the fucking Jesus, guys. You guys are fucking killing it tonight. I don't know what I did to fucking deserve this, but fucking whatever I did, I hope I...
You were a puppet of Tommy C, dude.
There we go! There we go!
Being Tommy C's puppet pays well, dude.
Yeah, fuck it. Maybe I should stick with it, you know what I mean? Alright, I'm gonna reroute my audio over to your end right now, and then we'll fucking look at this right here. This is fucking Willie Mack. He says, at Nerd City is like those Christian moms who take rap music literally.
YouTube promoted Lele's new high school video titled Hot Substitute Teacher on the trending page, right below Squishy Makeover.
You're just here for the shekels.
Thanks, tipster.
In the top 10. Much unlike Squishy Makeovers, Lele's video is a softcore porn about statutory rape.
What? Jesus
yeah, that's a
Christ.
bit of a stretch in terms of the.
Is he making like a? He's got to be making like a joke here.
Can we talk about Hunt Down the Freeman?
It's hyperbole, but I don't think it's like a joke. But I do think it's hyperbole.
Yeah,
like if
yeah.
yeah.
Fuck off, Colossal. So Willie says, yes, I make my own opinion on my own social medias. If you think Lele Pons makes pro-rape videos because she didn't wear a bra, that's all you. He's a good guy, but I think this critique here is a joke. Now, he responded, what do you call a high school girl having sex with their adult male teacher, Willie? What is the purpose of 1 minute of Lele bouncing her tits without a bra?
I am a puppet of Tommy C. He told me to give you
Yeah, that was in the
$5.
video.
Joke's on him. It's Canadian currency.
Thanks, fucking broski in the house tonight, boys. Put those two themes into a sentence like a cool uncle would. Jeez, what the wait, what the hell? Willie, so he's not joking. He's making like a serious point. She's like fucking like what do you say again?
Lele's video is a softcore porn about statutory rape.
Split this between you and Bo Blacks.
Jesus Christ. Thank you, Hibana, for the 100. Split this between you and Boblox. I will. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah,
Boblox,
very
for
generous.
the first time
Thank
in
you.
your life, you're getting fucking
Dude,
paid.
I'm finally getting paid for After Hours. It took a year, but I'm finally getting $50 out of After Hours, dude. It was all worth it.
God, fucking hell. $50 in a
Payday,
year.
boy. Payday, boys. My $50 annual income from Augie RFC.
There you go. Colossal in the chat says, can we talk about Hunt Down the Freeman? No, we cannot talk about Hunt Down the Freeman. I'm sick and tired every day of hearing about Hunt Down the Freeman from every single person. I go into the Legion, there's either one of two conversations going on. Nick's gay YouTube fights and Hunt Down the fucking Freeman. I'm sick of hearing it. It's a dead meme. It's a dead game. It was, well, what was this, a joke like 3 years ago? And we're still talking about this? Why? I can't stand Hunt Down the Freeman. Nick streamed it. Nick ruined my channel when he streamed it on my channel. Nick's like, oh yeah, let's do a game stream. Okay, I'm down. What are we playing? What game are we playing?
Augie
Hunt
be
Down the
making
Freeman.
Big money. Shout out Liquid Richard. Also talk about Hunt Down the Freeman.
Hunt Down the
No!
Freeman.
No! Hunt Down the Freeman is a banned subject. All right, you're getting fucking banned if we talk about Hunt Down the Freeman. I'm sick and tired of Hunt Down the Freeman. No more. This is a stream about Nerd City. Guys, tone shift here. This is a serious fucking conversation, all right? We're supposed to be angry. We're supposed to be throwing shit on the wall. We're supposed to be flipping our shit.
Let's talk about Sonic instead.
No! Like I heard myself in the... All right, what does Willie say? It's a skit about how sometimes you get a hot substitute teacher in high school. It's a joke. You're basically saying video games with guns make you violent or rap music makes you a womanizer. I don't know, it just feels like a lack of nuance or common sense.
Adult teachers who prey on their underage students are a horrific concern for parents. Not a scenario they would ever want to normalize for their preteen kids. The entire fantasy is incredibly taboo. Adult teachers
Okay.
Who is Freeman and why the fuck is he getting hunted down?
Cobra? Stop. So Nerd City's basically making the argument here that fucking, that you know, Lele's skits, like, promote this? Like, I'm trying to, like, wrap my head for a minute, right? Like, what is he trying to say?
I hate you for skipping the intro.
Good. Fucking dead air alert? What the fuck's going on here? Did you fucking brain?
I didn't know. I didn't know if you were listening to a donation or not. I can't hear the donation, so when there's dead air, I just assume a donation's coming on.
I think we might turn off the TTS just because it's getting a little distracting. Not that I don't appreciate it, but we can read it ourselves. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, what is going on?
Get serious. Let's talk about Hunt Down the Sonic.
$50 in the super chat to don't talk about Hunt Down. Winning super chat. All right, winning fucking super chat over here. Don't talk about Hunt Down the Freeman. Not only is it a larger amount, but it's not talking about Hunt Down the Freeman. So we're fucking winning over here. What is going on tonight? Did I fucking what am I doing?
Yeah, what happened is Augie the most fucking beloved streamer on YouTube.
Yeah,
I was like,
you guys are just fucking showering me right now. What the hell is going on here? This is not, I'm not fucking used to this shit. You're literally getting tons of money from meme donations. Yeah, fucking apparently.
Yeah, dude, it's gone so bad you had to turn off the TTS, dude. You can't.
I was not ready for this. I was like, we're gonna do a stream about talking shit about Nerd City. The entire chat's gonna hate me. I'm gonna get fucking dislikes. It's gonna be a fucking disaster. And then what happens? Jesus Christ. I mean,
dude, people love it, dude. We gotta talk shit about Nerd City more often, dude.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, that's what they want.
Dude, it makes money, dude.
There you go. There you fucking go. Well, I'm sure Nerd City's gonna go into the group chat now and be like, yeah, he's using me for cash or something now. Fuck's sake.
Jesus.
Seriously though, I'm fucking.
Dude, this is a gay op, dude. Nerd City's sending all his fans to shower us in shekels.
Another
so that
one?
later we can say, "Oh my God, Lenny."
Holy shit! Fuck!
Here's another.
Jesus.
Damn.
What the fuck is going on here? Yeah, I'm starting to get it when a streamer gets a large donation, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because on one hand, you're like, holy shit, fucking, I'm being blessed tonight. But then on the other hand, you're like, all right, something's gotta be up. You guys don't normally fucking pay. You guys don't normally pay at all. I'm just fucking joking around. But, no, I appreciate this shit a lot. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to do, shout-outs at the end of the show before we get the fuck out of here, because, fucking Habanabe tossing 50 to each of us. Fucking all of you people coming in. This guy just tossed $100. Lenny the Shark. I don't even recognize him from the chats. He just came here and just blessed us tonight. I don't mean to get all pandery or Philip DeFranco in here, but this doesn't happen every. This doesn't happen every night. You know what I mean? So I gotta just sit here and just take a breather for a minute and just be like, okay, you guys are coming through tonight. Holy fucking shit. What a talk about great start to the year over here. Jesus. Fucking just that's you gotta think about that, right? Because somebody just comes in here and just tosses $100 just because fuck it, I guess. That's a big deal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lieutenant Gober, Lenny the Shark, DM me on Twitter. I can give you my PayPal. Shut the fuck up, Leech. Getting over here. Yeah, Dark Side Shill moment. Look, listen, I gotta, take a moment here, because this, this ain't gonna happen on Wednesday. Let's just put it that way. Thank you guys very much. You guys make YouTube all fucking worth it at the end of the day. If I can put on a show and it can convince you guys to fucking, be this supportive, then that fucking means a lot to me. Thank you guys. All right, so this conversation note. So basically, it goes to highlight, Nerd City's, ridiculousness of this video, the over-dramatization of all of this,
Yeah.
He's anti-regulation, but he's talking like a regulator would, Lele's promoting, teacher-student rape to her audience? I don't want to put words into his mouth. That's not what I want. I don't, but then again, I listen to this, and I'm just like, what is he implying here?
Yeah.
That this content should be banned because it's dangerous for children? We've been through this argument before. It shouldn't be the government's job to regulate what your kids watch. It should come down to the parent. In Nerd City says he's anti-regulation on No Jumper. So, what's going... I don't want to, say, he's for regulation, but then I look at this stuff, and it's just all right, well, it's impossible now. How do I say it in any other way where I won't get accused of, throwing arguments into his mouth? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, the thing with this this fight, quote-unquote, between Willie and Nerd City is, I understand... With this part of Nerd City's video in particular, I understand both opinions, and Nerd City has the right to say his opinion in his video. Willie has the right to say his opinion on Twitter. I don't think anyone is definitively right or wrong. Obviously, each people have their opinions, but I don't think either of them are like that crazy or out there or blatantly wrong. But the thing is, when Nerd City responded to Willie, he took it like really, really harshly. Like I don't even think you got to the. I think Nerd City did another reply to Willie that you missed, but it might be like in a different thread. But
I can't find it right now. I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend too much time on this. The point of showing this to you guys is just to show, like, you know, we're getting into like ridiculous territory over here. Like this Lele Pons video. And something I pointed out on Twitter is I like it when this guy is, you know, comedy, you know, he's making fun of thoughts and stuff like that. Like, fuck yeah, dude. I like that shit. And Nerd City is a fantastic, what do they call it, cinematographer. His graphics are out of this world. His music selection is fantastic. Matter of fact, I might even, you know, assuming, you know, the music he uses is copyright free, I might even borrow some of it for this show, because, you know, I listen to his videos. The music is almost the best part in a way, because you know, it just, you know, adds to like the
tone.
The tone of it. It's great. It's good shit. But then he's got to, you know, add all this, like, you know, like self-policing, self-righteousness in here. And it just, like, ruins the entire thing. You know, why can't we just stick to being funny? The quickest way to win an audience, the quickest way to really get power on this platform, besides knowing the algorithm, which is the obvious way, is to just be funny. It doesn't matter if you're funny to 10-year-olds or if you're funny to 20-year-olds. Just being funny in general is such an underrated power. If you're able to win an audience through comedy, that's awesome, right? So I wish you would just utilize more of that rather than, you know, go on these like weird, like, you know, video game will make you violent type arguments, which I'm sure he doesn't agree with that. It's just, you know, when you look at the videos, what else are you supposed to get out of this? You know, Lele Pons is normalizing students having sex with, or teachers having sex with their students. Like, that's a ridiculous statement. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and Nerd City can be pretty funny in his videos. Like, my favorite part of the video, I mean, Nerd City himself was funny, but my favorite parts of the videos was when Max and Chad from Cold Ones criticized and, like, analyzed the photoshopping of Lele Pons. I thought that was hilarious. And many other parts of the video were funny. It's just that
me and Ben used to watch, you know, Nerd City's videos in class or whatever. You know, it was fucking chill. You know, we like the new Nerd City videos out. It's good shit. Yeah. Kind of brings back the good old days when you think about it.
Yeah.
But,
and what?
Yeah, go ahead.
What people often compare Nerd City to is iDubbbz Content Cop, and if you compare them, like every criticism iDubbbz brought up in his Content Cop, well, I haven't watched one in a while, but if I recall, every criticism had like some sort of like comedy in it, right? But like with Nerd City's video, it really felt out of place, like the self-regulating stuff, because he didn't really make that many jokes about it. He was just talking about like, it was kind of self-righteous in a way. And I mean, it's fine criticisms if that's what he believes, but it's just, I feel like it takes away from the video, the overall package of the video, because it's, at the end of the day, drama videos of those type are, you know, you're meant to be entertained, enjoy it, and think it's funny. Like, there was the funny, like, even when he was talking semi-seriously about the beginning portion of the video with Lele versus her friend, there was those funny animations where it's visually comedic and all that stuff. So it did feel kind of out of place, the regulation portion of the video. And if I were to give him any advice going forward, it would just be to like take out that and focus more on like,
I mean, he could
funny
really
stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I feel like the problem is that he rose, you know, to fame by, you know, exposing YouTube and kind of, you know, showing you just like how biased they are behind the scenes. And because of that, he probably feels like now every video is like, it's up to this crazy standard. He can't just make a funny video anymore. Now the standard is set to something colossally high that he's got to achieve every single time. And that, you know, mentality is dangerous. You know, I don't say that like to be like over dramatic, you know, I'm just saying like, you know, if Nerd City's videos are laying down the welcome mat for things like Copa and stuff like that, then that's a problem, you know what I mean? But we've been through this argument before multiple times. You guys know our takes on this. Let's jump into the Tommy C stream and give our little commentary of that, because it did get a little interesting. And again, shout out to Tommy C. He did a great job today on his show.
He did.
Before we begin, Colossal says we should wish him happy birthday. Happy birthday, clown! Thanks
Happy
for those
birthday.
Fucking, what was he supposed to do? Like 12 videos last year? 10?
Yeah, he was supposed to do 10 and he didn't do any.
Thanks for the 10 videos last year. It was fucking. They were all bangers, you know. Better than Nerds.
No, what Colossal did release last year was just on a second channel. I've brought this up and people are like, oh, it doesn't count, but I still thought it was funny. Was his reaction commentary to like the balloon animals. I think that was hilarious, and his reaction video to Shane Dawson's makeup. I thought both of those were fucking hilarious. They were short, probably took like less than a day to make, but they were both funny as fuck. So. If you can't make the big videos, Colossal, at least make some of those because your humor is great.
Oh yeah, there's no reason. I mean, I don't think anybody would complain if he suddenly like released a barrage of those or whatever. I don't know. I want real videos. It's like, well, fuck it. I'll take what I can get at this point. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's open this thing right now.
That Nerd City's doing this, but let's get his side. That's only fair, ladies and gentlemen. The very famous Nerd City. How are you, sir?
Can you two fucking kiss and make up
already?
We're
not fighting. I disagree with him. We're not fighting. He's not a bad person. I think he's ridiculous. That's all.
Well, I hope we're not fighting, Tommy.
No.
I consider us friends.
I consider you a friend. I just think you're insane.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. And I hope we don't end up screaming over top of each other.
I don't see that being a problem. I don't see that.
We are talking about like legalese and shit like that is over both of our heads in a way. And like I know because we're parsing this language very carefully that like, when we start getting mad, then we're not going to be precise and then we'll say stupid
I'm not
shit,
mad at you. I've made that abundantly clear from the beginning of the show. I'm not mild.
Boy, I'm I sure was. I still am a little bit, but we'll get into that.
I feel like Nerd is kind of talking to himself here in the beginning because you can clearly tell like throughout the clip Nerd is getting more and more mad and maybe he's not being careful enough with the words he's saying on this podcast.
Something I gotta point out here is when I say like Nerd cannot take criticism, that doesn't mean like, oh, he doesn't agree with my criticism, so therefore he cannot take it. You know what I mean? Like that's just stupid.
That'd be dumb.
I'm saying he takes it all as an attack. I think last November I showed you when he first called into SFTP when Nick made his first video. It was about Nerd City, and he was just fucking furious about it. And to be fair, Nick was kind of a dick in his video. Let's be fair to Nerd here. That being said, it's just like everything's got to be like this, constant attack. Like they're fucking trying to like ruin me. They're trying to snake me over or something like that. And you can see when he starts off.
As much as I like NC and think the controversy is overblown, I do agree with critics about the idea of his videos bringing regulators down.
Yeah, regulations down is what you meant. But yeah, I would agree with that. And I get the point that it's overblown and stuff, and it's not that big of a. It's really not, but. Then you have him going on SFTP and fucking freaking out, which we'll get into. Right now, it's relatively civil, but we'll see it quickly devolve in just a moment.
I'm really mad at you. I've kept the same demeanor pretty much the whole show. I don't think you have to worry about that.
Okay, so there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One is, you've said on one hand, I think it's ridiculous to blame Nerd City for bringing about these regulations. But then, as it goes on in these live chats, you'll start to shorthand that to Nerd City's bringing about COPA. You're perpetuating this rumor.
Well, actually, what I said was he didn't build the house; he just laid the welcome mat. That was my.
Most people don't realize reg agencies like FCC and FTC are proactive, but reactive thanks to decades of underfunding, and will only respond when there is a stink.
Yep. Thank you for the dono.
Exact words. Isn't that kind of hyperbole, though, for a comedy show?
I get that.
All right.
But we do keep coming back to that. All right, so as far as the Lele thing, you said two things that I don't think quite line up. You said that, number one, your daughter is a Lele Pons fan now and has begun watching her content.
Yes.
But then you also say that you're not aware of the things that she's been doing in the
content. That's not what I said at all.
That's part of what the video.
That's not what I said at all. I said I hadn't seen the content that you displayed. Everything I've watched it with her.
Doesn't it serve a purpose then? Because it just made you aware of it.
Yes, but I don't need that, and I know I really don't need it if it's going to bring regulations to YouTube, which is actually more of a detriment to me than my daughter seeing Lele Pons half naked.
well, now we're getting into parenting decisions, and those are up to you. But what that sounds like is basically like you just haven't seen her watching it yet, and when you do see that, you'll intervene.
Yes.
But she could be watching that without you having been aware of that.
She could be looking at porn right now, for all I fucking know. I mean, that's a part of being a parent.
Cool with that, though.
No, I'm not cool with her looking at porn. I know it's a part of fucking life. I know she'll probably smoke a joint one day. I know that she'll probably do something on this, and I think the time is. I don't believe in. She's got to show me that she's not trustworthy. I believe, as a parent, this is my way of doing it. It's not everybody's way of doing that. As putting the gates as far out as humanly possible and only bring them in when they're necessary. She has not showed me that I have to do that, and I don't do this shit preemptively, and I'm not one of these 700 Club Christian wackos that worry about things like that. She's probably going to smoke a joint. She's probably going to do lie. She's probably going to sleep at somebody dead. So I deal with it.
Yeah, Matt Pitt asking the real questions. Does Nerd City have kids? I'm not saying that like devalidates his he can't talk about this because he doesn't have kids, but
I think it adds a certain amount of perspective. If you have that experience or know about it, for sure.
Because it's like, she could be watching Lele Pons, so something needs to be done about this or something, right? Is that what he's saying? Which would invite regulation. That's like a problem.
Yeah, but and what Tommy's bringing up is that there's stuff much worse than Lele Pons out there. He brought up the porn example, and it's like, stuff's gonna be out there. We can't regulate it. We just have to, parent accordingly.
Yeah. Be the, actually fucking, parent, which is something apparently people don't do anymore. People rely on
and it's also a really hard point for a lot of people to understand, like, the nuance of what it means to be like a parent or a guardian or whatever, because I mean, most people who are watching and consuming this content, they're not parents, and they haven't taken care of people in a parental type way, because I can if someone takes care of a child for a certain amount of time, like, obviously you kind of know what it's like to be a parent, even though you're not one.
Yeah, you're like, what all the, the boundaries.
Yeah, how to take care of a kid, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. The algorithm ain't gonna take care of your child. Contrary to that, the algorithm will fuck you up. Whether you're a young child or a 15-year-old, commentator. Because there was like this whole argument last year. There was two separate arguments about the algorithm. One argument was the "Matt's what it is" argument, which is that the algorithm, it perpetuates like content that pedophiles will use or whatever. And then on the other side, people were saying the algorithm turned me into an alt-right radical, which is like, everybody's like so quick to just be like, the algorithm. People think of the algorithm as some super scary thing. Let me tell you something like about what the algorithm is. The algorithm is a very simple thing that promotes videos exactly like one video that you watch. So if you watch Ben Shapiro wreck libtards in the ass, then you're going to get all of a sudden a lot of right-wing content. If you watch, if you upload a video of like your daughter playing on your slide, suddenly you're going to get a lot of videos of young children or something. The algorithm doesn't think like, oh, you're a pedophile? Let me promote to you pedophilic content. Oh, you're falling down some political rabbit hole? Let me just like radicalize the hell. That's not how the algorithm works. It's a very simple system that sends you shit that's exactly like what you watched before. And actually, in some ways, it's a good thing, right? Like my little brother. He's like, I won't say his age exactly, but he's younger than 10 years old, so that should tell you. He's a little kid. He watches a lot of younger content on YouTube, and, for the most part, the algorithm's a good thing, because he'll watch some wholesome Thomas the Train, whatever, and then he'll recommend a video exactly like that. But if you leave it on for too long, it might send him down a dark path. So when he watches the TV, we're there making sure, like, nothing bad happens. And, we'll make our own, like, playlists of, like, pre-approved content and stuff like that, And when I say we, I mean my parents. My parents don't make me, like, parent my brother. But, there's got to be some involvement. The algorithm is not some super scary tool that will send you into dark, scary places. You just gotta, like, not be a moron and be actually involved in whether it's your kid's life or, your brother or something. You gotta step in. You can't just fucking be in your own world.
Yeah, you just gotta monitor what your kids are doing, and this isn't like a new thing because of YouTube. Like, even with other media, like maybe your child's watching a TV show, and a particular TV show that is still a kid's TV show, but you're not like a fan of. Like, let's say you just don't like your kid's watching SpongeBob for whatever reason. Then
I
you can
literally
monitor and
fun
see.
story. I was banned from watching SpongeBob when I was younger because it didn't have anything to do with the content in and of itself. I think like the channel it came on would like display like a lot of like fucking like not pornographic ads, obviously, because it's on fucking TV, but it was like, you know, ads that were like a little too, you know, out there for somebody who was like 10 or something. So my parents actually made me stop watching SpongeBob, and that fucking sucked when I was younger, because that was my favorite show. But I mean, hey, fucking, you know, parents know best mostly.
Yeah, and when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob, Pokemon, a couple other ones, and I was only allowed to watch specific TV shows, and my parents would just monitor what I was watching, not like fucking looking at it 24/7, you know, we're just like glancing, seeing what I'm up to and stuff. It's just how to be a parent, and it's not new or exclusive to YouTube. You gotta monitor your kids in whatever they do, whether it be like older media, like a TV channel, YouTube, or even stuff that isn't related to, you know, media, like how are your kids playing with other kids, etc. You just gotta monitor your children.
Like ruined everything. Suddenly, after YouTube came, like parents have no clue anything about technology anymore. It's like, this is not that complicated. It's basically just TV, but anyone can make it. Like that's all it is. It's just, you know, instead of, you know, corporations, you know, funding, you know, cartoons and stuff like that, and, you know, series and stuff like that. It's us, you know?
And I'm not saying there should be no regulations and that it should be 100% on the parents, because if there was no regulations, you know, kids could be watching fucking, you know, porn on, like a porn ad could come up on a SpongeBob episode or something,
Somebody
you know?
said, like, adult ads on Nickelodeon. I forget what the context was, but, like, I think I didn't watch on Nickelodeon. It was on some different weird network. I don't know why they were playing SpongeBob. I don't remember. All I remember is whatever network I was watching SpongeBob on, weird shit was coming up, so my parents were just like, no. And I was just like, fuck. But it sucked.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, in my opinion, I feel like regulations are fine as is. You know, we have just the right amount of regulation, and we don't need to, you know, criticize content creators based off regulations that don't exist yet for them. That's another thing. Like, is Lele Pons expected to know all these fucking TV laws, etc., etc.? Maybe because she's a bigger channel, you could say that, but
anticipate shit that's gonna happen 5 years out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she should have known 5 years from now the FTC was gonna come into roost, or whatever the hell he said.
Yeah.
Bless you.
And thank you. And, like, if I put it, like, obviously, it's a little different because she's, like, a multi-million YouTuber, and you could say, theoretically, that she should know some of these things, but, if I'm a YouTuber, like, I'm just thinking, I want to upload a YouTube video of stuff I want to make, and I didn't look up TV laws before I started making YouTube videos. I don't think most YouTubers did, so it's like, why are we expected to know these rules? Like, most YouTubers don't even read the fucking TOS of YouTube, which is actually applies to YouTube. So why would they read rules that don't even apply to YouTube when they don't even read TOS? I don't know. It's just stupid, man.
Fuck, who the fuck reads TOS? I know already, you don't need to read
Nerd
the
is the type of
person. Like,
dude, Nerd City's the type of person who reads the TOS.
Don't say the N-word. That's all I need to know, alright? Don't say the N-word, and don't fucking show up and stream, like, naked or something. Don't show them your cock. Other than that, fucking, don't harass people. Don't fucking do stupid shit.
Just read the community guidelines, and you got a good idea of what's allowed on YouTube, honestly.
Although, technically, if we were gonna, like, abide by the TOS, this show would be banned in 2 seconds, because technically it's harassment. I mean, this episode isn't really harassment, but you guys know me. You know, you see me on
Twitter, don't lay out the welcome mat for the regulators to come in. Come on.
If we're gonna go by a hardline TOS point of view, I'm fucked. All right, fucking open up that.
And I think maybe Nerd would be fucked as well, because I mean that whole video was an attack on Lele Pons, essentially,
TOS
right?
is that, you know, it's not just if it was applied hard-lined, right? The TOS is not a hard-line set of rules as it is. You know, harassment is not a strict definition. It's just harassing people based on gender or religion or something, you know. It's like, well, what does that mean, you know? if I call somebody like a fucking Jew, I would assume that's probably harassment. But I mean, that's just a joke. Jokes aren't harassment. You know, it's like what. You know, none of us really know. We can just assume and guess based on how we've seen other people get banned to formulate our own basic idea of what the rules really mean. But it's not like a hard line thing. You know what I mean? Like, you could argue that Nurse City was harassing Lele Pons, even though I would disagree with that. If Lele Pons really wanted this video removed, she could be able to. And apparently some of her fans already got it age restricted, which, to be fair to Nerd City, I think the age restriction is bullshit. I know he showed some sexual shit in there, but fucking the context was not like to be like, oh, let me like show this to my audience so they fucking jerk off to it. It was commentary over it, you know what I mean? So I think his age restriction thing was bullshit, and I will defend him on that point. But if she wanted it removed for harassment, who knows? Maybe she could. Anything goes at this point, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me just be blunt here. Like,
the regulators have come to roost.
Criticizing creators based off rules is fucking retarded. It's just dumb. Like, you know those little small YouTubers who are like, "Oh, this YouTuber's abusing metadata in the TOS," and that's like their criticism. That's kind of like
they would try to get like a Cyrus, or no, it was somebody. It was somebody. These small YouTubers were basically like, this YouTuber is putting his friends, his more popular friends, in the tags of the video. This is against TOS. Like, we need to get this guy. I don't know if they were arguing for ban, but this guy needs to be punished for breaking TOS. And it's just like, all right, snitches, fucking snitches are bitches. You know, what are you doing? Like, why? This is such a non-issue. Who cares? Why are you looking at his tags anyway? Like, that's weird. It's like, this guy's putting his more popular... so could you get my... Because I'll put Boblax in the fucking tags of my fucking videos, you know, because Boblax is a very big part of this channel. And when I'm uploading videos, you know, he's got a bigger channel. Fuck it, I'll put Boblax's name in the tags. Does that mean that people can just be like, oh, Augie's abusing tags, he must be terminated? Why are you looking, buddy? Why are you looking at my tags?
I feel like the only time where it's fair to criticize people for breaking rules is when they're either straight up stealing content, just like re-uploading someone else's shit, and it's obviously against copyright. They're literally uploading porn, or they're uploading like someone getting fucking shot in the head. Like, just crazy shit, right? Yeah. All these like little nuanced rules. Yeah. It's like, I guess it's their initiative or their
Yeah, well, technically, you people bringing this up,
if they want to take that risk, they can, but we aren't.
Technically, you people bringing this up is you guys are harassing me because you're going after my fucking livelihood. That's right. YouTube is now my full-time job, so you guys get banned from Twitter.
Yep.
No.
Okay. Let's just continue with this video. We're getting way off track.
I'm fucking around. All right, let's keep playing this.
Now I don't panic if I see, and I have seen her watch things that are just unacceptable. And I deal with it then. I don't need the government. That's just me.
I think that's a fair approach, and but some parents aren't like that, right?
Yeah, I know. They're idiots.
They would want...
they're mad people that make the world worse for everybody else.
Common ground has been found, boys.
Part of the problem with Jake Paul and Lele Pons content is that they put out so much of it that it's overwhelming, you know, and it's also very difficult to listen to because it's very loud and annoying, and a parent might go like, oh, all right, this is for kids, and they leave the room. Trusting YouTube and Google to have correctly identified this is...
Who would do that's a bad parent then. That's a bad parent. What? This content is annoying, I don't want to listen to it, so I'm not going to parent? You think when a parent watches fucking Teletubbies, right, with their child, that they fucking love the show? No, they just think it's fucking, like, annoying and shit, but they still gotta, like, monitor their kid to an extent. I don't know, maybe that's a bad example, because Teletubbies is obviously fucking super kid-friendly, but...
It's also on, like, a kid's network. The network's never gonna air something that's dangerous for their fucking kids.
Yeah, that's a bad example, but should we expect YouTubers to be like those networks? Like, it's not like Lele Pons is making, like, nursery rhyme videos or whatever. Lele Pons is making content that is for 9-year-olds to 28-year-olds, that's what she said. Something along those lines. She's making content that's for children, but also teenagers could like it, and some weird adults could like it. I don't know, but it's like, it's not directly themed only at children. I think it's more like preteen based, if anything. And I don't know, man.
So okay, I'm starting to see why he wants to go to the media now. So he wants to go to the media to be like, so these people can write up articles. Hey, you think Jake Paul is kid friendly? You think Lele Pons is kid friendly? No, it's not. Here's the Nerd City video. Don't show this to your kids. He thinks the journalists are going to go that route. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I envy somebody who's as optimistic as Nerd City to think that journalists are going to go with that approach. Maybe some will. Maybe Dexterdo will. But they're going to use this as fuel to the fire to light apart YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to light apart, maybe not YouTube, but to accelerate, because we're already seeing this right now. YouTube's in a process of moving to more corporate tube. So maybe the journalists don't want to get rid of YouTube. They just want to get rid of individual creators. And Nerd City said in this stream that he wants like individual private broadcasting, whatever, to continue, however he worded it. So
he basically doesn't want certain creators on this website. Like, based off how he's speaking, I just think he doesn't want Jake Paul to exist. He doesn't want Lele Pons to exist because he doesn't like their content, I think. I mean, he has other valid reasons, but it's like...
Remember he went after Chris Hansen this weekend? I actually had that booted up in case we ran out of time. Looking at it now, I don't think we'll run out of time.
Wait, do you have the screenshots for that?
I don't have the screenshots.
Because he deleted his tweets.
But he basically gave a take when Chris Hansen... I did a video on this on my channel on Saturday. But Chris Hansen showed up to Onision's house to interview him. And Nerd City basically ran the argument of... I don't know if he said it was doxing, but he was like, this is too far, and we as YouTubers, we don't agree with this, which is ridiculous because Chris Hansen, he's a journalist. He's a private investigator. And it's also an Onision. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, who really cares?
Here's the argument I made. So, he wants YouTubers to go by TV traditional media regulations, but he wants traditional media, aka the
Chris Hansen
journalist that is Chris Hansen, to go by YouTuber rules. So which rules do you want people to go by? I don't know. It's just kind of funny. But we should continue watching this because we seem to be going on tangents a little too long.
Kids content.
No, I don't trust YouTube. That's great because I don't trust YouTube and Google for anything. I don't let other people raise my fucking kids. I watched this with The Little Mermaid when it came out in VHS in 1989, and they just put the goddamn thing on and let it spin over and over again. They don't pay any attention. I don't have that problem. I'm involved. And I don't look at Google and say, oh my God, you played something for my kid. It's your fault. No, it's mine. It's my fault. You know? So I got to be honest with you. I can't get by. Look, this is the disagreement we have. And like my criticisms of you have nothing to do with what you pointed out from Lele Pons. I just telling you, I don't need it. And I don't think other people need it as much as you think.
I don't think that the television or YouTube should be a babysitter, but the fact is, it is serving as a babysitter.
Well, then you're contradicting yourself right there. Then they're a babysitter.
Well,
the babysitter is not a babysitter. No.
Hold on.
Television or YouTube should be a babysitter, but the fact is, it is serving as a babysitter.
Well, then you're contradicting yourself right there.
It shouldn't be a babysitter, but it is a babysitter, is what he's saying.
Serving.
Yeah, but... Yeah, he's saying it is a babysitter for some people, but it shouldn't be.
Okay, then.
But if it is, then shouldn't the parents fix that, not YouTube? And the thing is, like, YouTube already has like certain regulations in play to protect children. Like, YouTube is pretty much doing their best to protect children. Maybe doing their best is a little over exaggerating because YouTube doesn't have the best interests of everyone in mind at most of the time, but they do have stuff in place to, protect children. Obviously, they're following through with the COPPA thing, mainly because they got sued, but then they also have the YouTube Kids app, which came before the COPPA stuff, and they have done things to, make sure children's content is safe on YouTube. I mean, they could, I guess, do more, as Nerd City is suggesting, but it's not like there's absolutely no regulation. It's a balance, right? Like, so I guess like I think it mostly should be on the parents, but like the parents should do some stuff to protect the kids, and YouTube should do some stuff to protect the kids. Mostly it should be on the parents, but I don't know. If there's an issue, I think it lies on the parents. It's just, I think people get my point, but yeah.
Or babysitter. The babysitter, not a babysitter. And no, they're not for me. And I got to be honest with you. I think you're slacking in a parental apartment.
I don't think that's a hypocrisy. It's like
you're not a babysitter, but they're a babysitter.
You allow
that sentence is apocryphal.
You're yelling and interrupting me. I'm having trouble finishing a sentence, Tommy.
Fair enough.
So, if you are allowing your child to use YouTube as a babysitter, you should be aware that some of this content is probably going farther than you would expect. Okay, that's the point of my video. Okay. All right, I'd like to move on to the other thing.
Okay.
So, as far as me being anti-regulation, but also pro, let's call it the spirit of the regulation, I don't think that's
kind of like the babysitter.
That's weird. Okay, he's not pro-regulation, but he's pro the spirit of the regulation, which kind of goes back to my theory, which I mentioned, I think, in the last Nerd City stream we did on Friday.
Just say it! That he is pro-regulation. Nothing that he said, that he's implicated, shows that he's anti-regulation. He wants it. Okay, fine. Just say it. That's our argument. Is that he obviously he wants it, but he won't admit it. Just admit it. We can agree to disagree, but he can't admit it because he knows how bad that sounds. Does he hate YouTube? I don't get.
I think the way he sees it, and it goes back to what I was saying about him on Friday, is he's pro-regulation, but he's not pro the regulation that came. He wants a different type of regulation that is less harsh on certain YouTubers. The thing is, to think that will happen is completely way too optimistic. It's either going to be way too harsh, or it's not going to be there at all. There's no in-between, and I think he thinks there's an in-between, and he's advocating for the in-between, but it just, I don't think it exists. Yeah.
Well, it's a babysitter, but it's not a babysitter. It's anti-regulation, but the regular.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, you know.
Positions, Tommy.
Yeah.
Like, these are nuanced positions. Okay, so like, let's say you're a person who doesn't believe in concealed carry of guns or knives.
Sure,
okay?
I think I know where you're going with this.
You don't want people with knives and guns in their pockets that aren't registered, and you can't see that they're there. You think that sucks, right? Mm-hmm. But you also don't want a policy where we all get stopped and frisked on the corner.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's if that is true, you have not articulated it very well. You've basically said that you don't want these type.
Man, I do try to articulate these positions where I can. Like, if I'm not as clear, like, all right.
Yeah, but you said it was nuanced, but there doesn't seem to be much nuance to it on the surface, because you look at it and it's like you could look at one podcast you did, and you did that podcast the night that you argued with Nick, and it's another thing is it's a little tough. You know, I'm not going to drop your DMs or anything, but, you know, because of the conversations that we've had, I think you are pro-regulation. And by the way, you could be pro-regulation, but I'll be damned if somebody's going to call here and ask me if I think, well, Nerd City. No, he certainly is. And I think
that's why I'm wondering if there's a recollection problem. Because when I showed you the Jake Paul video a couple days ahead of time, we both agreed, like, fuck, wouldn't this suck if this meant we couldn't sell merch? To be fair,
someone could fart and Bo Blacks would be inspired by it.
Jesus, Bo Blacks is teddy bear. Someone could fart and Bo Blacks would be inspired by it. Bo Blacks, what do you want to say that?
Someone could fart and Bo Blacks would be inspired by it? Why did he say that? What? How is that relevant to anything that's going on?
I think they're talking shit. They're saying like you're just like a social climber of some sort.
I could be inspired by a fart.
The joke is that you're... Oh, for fuck's... Never mind. Thank you, Bo Blacks' Teddy...
I could be inspired by anything. That's what he's basically saying, but I don't see how that's true or relevant to anything
Calm down,
that's going
Nerd
on.
City.
It's not a very well-timed joke.
We don't want that kind of regulation. Does this cause that?
I remember we did have that conversation, and I was more like, "Are you sure?" And you were like, "Yeah, I'm sure." I was like, "Okay." I wasn't going to tell you not to put out the video.
Like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, okay,
you said you thought about it. I remember what you said. You said, "I thought about it." Yes, that crossed my mind, but I think this is more important. I think that was your exact sentence, if I remember correctly.
Well, yeah. That doesn't jibe with how I feel about it, which is like, no, I don't think taking Jake Paul down would mean is worth us not being able to sell merch.
Why are you taking people down, nerd?
Why am I taking people
Yeah,
down?
it sounds like.
Now you're talking about basically the premise of your own show.
Notice something, all right? Tommy asks Nerd says something. Tommy asks a very simple question, clarifying that, or asking for clarification, or more of an explanation. Nerd's quiet, and then he's like doesn't know you.
The thing is, like, there's a difference between taking someone down and criticism. Like, you can criticize someone with wanting them to improve rather than being taken down.
He said he's taking people down.
Yeah. And what Tommy does is criticize. Which is what he's about to say. He's about to say, I don't try and take people down. I think Nerd City doesn't see a difference between criticism and taking people down, whereas me and you and Tommy and other people see that there's a big difference. I criticize people
all the time, dude.
But do you want their channels to be taken down?
Dude, I criticize fucking... I wouldn't say I criticize you all the time, but I've criticized you plenty before, you know?
Yeah.
Likewise, you to me, so I mean, it's whatever, you know? It's not that big of a deal.
I don't tell people to unsub. I don't think people should go away.
You've bragged about taking down groups.
To be fair, I think Tommy has once told people to unsub and go away from my channel, but besides the point. I think generally Tommy doesn't do that, but I think he's done that.
Probably just got fucking pissed or something and just fucking went off. I've done that before. When I go at people and I really don't like them, I tell them to unsub just because I'm
I think you've told people to unsub too, but generally it's not like
I tell people to,
it's not the premise of his show. It's not the premise of his show.
Yeah. Or my show at least, fucking
or your show.
No, I'll fucking I'll be like, yeah, you guys should unsub. This guy's show is shit. But I'm also not like hell bent on like we must take this guy down. The only person you can make that argument for is Unfunniest. But the only reason why I said that is because that guy's a fucking like danger, mostly to himself, but also to
so I guess occasionally you do want to take people down, quote unquote. But it's definitely not the premise of your show. It's definitely not the premise of Tommy's show.
The premise of this show has shifted so much. It used to be like, I want a battleground for YouTubers to come on and fight each other. Then it was just like, all right, we got to fucking expose the commentary group. Pretty much nowadays, I'm just saying like, bro, I'm just here for the fucking memes.
Yeah, dude.
I'm here to chill, dude. Fucking talk to chat and fucking laugh at some dumb shit. And tonight we're laughing at Nerd City. X Biggie says, Nerd City seems to take criticism as an attack. Interesting that he has that outlook on not just himself, but other people. You know what I mean? You see a bit of a pattern here. Kind of interesting.
It's
people making a living. I took down a group chat. I took down I took down a group chat that was working with lawyers and a well-known hacker to put a pedophile rap on them. That's a lot different than Jake Paul shouldn't be able to make content on the platform, don't you think? It's a different strategy.
He's literally fuming. It's not even.
Yeah, you can tell how fucking mad Tommy is by that.
Oh my god! Yeah, dude, this starts to get real personal real quick, and you'll see.
Yeah. Although I don't think Nerd saying that taking people down is the premise of Tommy's show. It is extremely outrageous if in his head criticism and taking people down is the same thing, and I genuinely believe that he thinks that. So it's not like a crazy statement in that sense, but it's definitely incorrect. So, I mean, if I were Tommy, I wouldn't have freaked out as much as he did, but...
There was a funny moment there was a funny moment on No Jumper where they were just sitting there and they were just talking about how awful this one Jake Paul song was, where it was just him, like, fucking... I could probably find it if I wanted to.
Oh, yeah, it was Buy That Merch.
Buy That Merch.
I think something happened to Nerd City Head.
Nerd City's head? I think he's always been this way. He's just never been criticized before. It's not that serious. He's just never been criticized before, and he's kind of a dick. So am I. So I mean, it's fair. What was the song? Jake Paul merch. I can't spell.
I think a Jake Paul merch song.
Yeah, it was this one.
Oh yeah, All I Want for Christmas. Yeah, this video is funny in an ironic way. Like I kind of.
Buy that merch. Buy that merch.
It's just so blatant. I love it.
Fucking stupid.
It's so dumb.
Buy that merch. Buy that.
It's the same word over and over again.
Said, all I want for Christmas is that Jake Paul merch. All I want for Christmas is a Jake Paul shirt. All All she want for Christmas is JP. I'm a
Alright, I'm fucking done with this shit. As soon as it got to this part, I'm just like, fuck this.
Yeah, you're
But
not as big of a Chad as you think, Paul.
They were like legitimately like talking. It was so funny too. I was in the call watching with Nick and we were laughing. I was just like, man, they were talking about how like seriously fucked up this song was. They were like, do you guys remember that one song he made years ago? It was fucked up. You know, it broke so many rules and regulations. And I'm just like, it's a fucking stupid song where he's telling his fans to buy his merch. It's not that big. You know, he was like,
Thank you for the cancer.
you're welcome, man. I'm glad you enjoy it. Like my sister, when I have a younger sister as well. And she was really into like the whole Jake Paul craze back in 2017. She wanted Jake Paul merch. Guess what my parents said? No. They were like, hell nah. You don't want this. It's really not that hard.
Yeah, kids don't have credit cards.
Yeah.
Better parenting. We need. You know what? Nerd City needs to make an expose video on parents, dude. That's what he needs to do. That's the core issue to all of this. Is bad parenting.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna fucking take a step out for a minute.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I like how Tommy, his hands match like the picture of Nerd City there. Dude, Tommy went off in the stream, man. He got so mad. Tommy loses his cool a little too quickly, I've got to say. And I mean, I do generally I'm on the side of like Nick, Tommy, Augie with this whole like argument. Of course, I've stated my opinion many times, but I mean, I do kind of like if I were to put myself in his shoes and his like mindset, I kind of understand where he's coming from. Like, I don't think he's malicious. I just think he's kind of a little dumb and ignorant.
I'm back. I was at Bo Black's entertainment.
It's pretty good. Well, hopefully it was pretty good.
Loaded up. I wish YouTube didn't eat your super chat money. Dude, if YouTube didn't eat your super chat money when you played copyrighted music, I would end off with the fucking real song, Warren G. Regulate. I was listening to that last night unironically, and I was like, fuck, dude, I wish I could start after hours like this. Oh my god. I gotta do more.
It's not copyrighted, though, because Nerd City used it, right?
Well, this flute one.
Like the flute version.
Yeah, but I want to play like the real song. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
YouTube, for those of you guys who don't know, YouTube will, whatever money you generate from Super Chat, YouTube will, if somebody claims it, like the music producer, then not only send the ad revenue, but they'll send the Super Chat revenue now. So your donations, like the guy just dropped $100 to stream, that's getting sucked from him and going to the music corporation. So I'm like, fuck that, dude. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens like once to one guy, and once is enough for me to steer clear of that bullshit, so... Play a live version? Is that gonna... If you could find me one that's not, like, fucking copyright fucked with or whatever, then maybe. Anyway, let's keep watching.
The point is to criticize and hold accountable people who are doing scumbag things and laugh about it. And that's what I do. So it's like...
Well, he doesn't really laugh at the regulations.
I think that's what I do.
Yeah, he wasn't like, yeah, get fucking wrecked, guys.
I guess he made a couple editing jokes.
That would be
here and there, but I didn't really see it as like a comedic segment.
He couldn't do that. That would be terrible optics. That would just be. It's like yeah. I don't know. That would just not go over well. If he just like full on mask off, like, yeah, the regulations have come. I don't want these. But
well, he literally did it. The regulators have come to roost.
Yeah,
he literally did that.
I guess so. I don't know if the intention of that was to like laugh and like glorify the regulations, but I don't know.
I think it was like a comedic bait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we laughed at it in a different way, but yeah.
Yeah, we were like, haha, we're fucked. You know.
I think you don't want them on the internet. I think that's the difference between me and you.
No, I see. I'm not trying to deplatform Lele Pons or Jake Paul. The videos always stop short of saying anything
Blacks
like
once
that.
went to a gender reveal party. He was the only one naked there.
Poblex once went to a gender reveal party. He was the only one naked there. Thank you, Poblex's teddy bear. Keep him coming.
With Daddy of Five and Tasha Mama.
You went through a list of laws that would put her in court and paying fines for the next 10 years.
No, that's not what that is. So that list is the FTC clarifying these. So that's their best attempt to identify what children's content is. There's no violations in that list.
There's
It's just that if Lele is doing any of those things, she should consider her content children's content, and she's doing 100% of them. So what I'm saying is that Lele...
And if she does 100%
this is an
of them...
issue I actually have with Nerd City here. So, YouTube released their FAQ on the COPPA rules, and they clarified what you should do if you have a mixed audience, right, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you have a mixed audience, if it's for kids or not for kids, that YouTube said you should mark it as not for kids. So if Lele has this stuff in her video, but then it also could be considered catered to adults, she can say it's not made for kids, and it would be still fine under YouTube's rules. So Nerd is just straight up wrong about this. COPPA mostly
what happens to her?
just
Then what
apply
happens
to
her if she
more blatant cases like Ryan toy reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
If she continues to do this?
Right. So what happens to her is she ticks the box that says, yes, this content is aimed at children, and that means that her ads turn off and her comment section shuts off, which is a shitty fucking implementation of COPPA. I hate that, but Lele needs to follow the rules just like us, and she's not labeling
How could you
her content
hate COPPA and then be so like? How do you hate COPPA? And
dude, this is so confusing. Like the only COPPA is about data collection, right? COPPA in particular is about data collection, and the only way to prevent that is to turn off everything that involves data collection. That includes the comments, that includes the rating, that includes all the stuff that got removed. Like, they got removed for a reason. It's not like YouTube was like, we're just going to overcompensate. So if Nerd City is saying, I wanted COPPA to come in, but only, implement the regulations a certain way. No, COPPA is a very, set in stone thing. It's like, don't collect data on children, turn off everything that is related to that. So what could YouTube have done where they comply to COPPA, but they also have comments on it and stuff? That doesn't make sense. Yeah. See, I don't really think Nerd City knows exactly what he's talking about when it comes to some of these issues. And it's why I suggest, maybe just don't have these segments in your videos, because it's just so nuanced. And I don't expect him to know everything. I mean, he's a YouTuber, not a lawyer. But then why bring the law into YouTube critical?
Nothing good's gonna. It's that standard I was talking about earlier. That's how he got big, by blowing up a big story. So now every video has got to be like a giant bomb.
Yeah, it's just like
it's kind of like when we were starting to do after hours, and we start blowing up in these big streams. And I think I remember, I came to you one night, I was freaking out. I was I'm having a hard time trying to get guests and trying to build up fights, and you were just like, dude, not every stream has to be like this big fucking deal where everybody's coming on and things are nuts and crazy or whatever. You could just do chill streams, and it took me a minute to figure that out. But I think it's a similar thing, although on a much larger scale for Nerd City. It's everything's got to be an event now. You can't just make the audience laugh. Now you've also got to, blow things up. You got to break stories now. And it's just no, you don't have to. You can relax, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hate something and a rule comes down and somebody breaks that rule, I'm just yeah. You're I hate this rule, you better follow it.
No. I don't hate COPPA. I don't hate COPPA. I hate the implementation so far on YouTube.
See, that makes no sense. See, it goes back to what I said. That makes no sense. You can't say you like COPPA, but you dislike the implementation, because the implementation is the only way that COPPA could have worked on YouTube, because it's about data collection and they had to turn off the data collecting things. It's stupid. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
You were fucking fired up tonight. I was expecting to be the guy who gets pissed. I was thinking, well, we're not there yet, so we might get to that point. But yeah, you're actually
I'm not pissed. I just know exactly what COPPA is, and he doesn't know, and he's
revenue for YT.
He just doesn't understand it. It's annoying.
Yeah,
I've studied COPPA, I know about it, right?
I don't know. Ace Kashinder's tells us a 5 super chat. I think one of the big issues is that data collection is one of the core pillars of revenue for YouTube/Google, along with ads, IIRC.
Yeah. Data collection actually helps enhance the ads through personalized ads, and that's where 90% of income comes from YouTube, which is why people say they're also going to make less money on videos that are marked for kids, because it's taking away those personalized ads.
Significantly less, 90%, fucking 90% cut. I was looking at my YouTube. There's a setting, where you can disable that, and they make no mention of, you know, the loss of revenue. So if you click that, you're basically like screwing over your channel in a sense.
Yep.
You know, you're losing 90% revenue here. Anyway, let's keep watching.
Protecting children from
It was guaranteed to happen.
I totally support protecting children from exploited.
I'm telling you right
completely.
now. You can't have it both. I don't think you can have it both ways.
I can, and I think I'm.
No. You can have it both ways. The history of government regulation says otherwise.
I know, which is why, like, at the very best, at the most hopeful, where we fucking pray that this has the effect, a commentary video can change the behavior of a bad actor on the system.
You sound like a communist that's saying it's going to work this time. I got to be honest.
No, it's self-regulation, man.
Boy, we can relate to that.
It sounds like a no Scotsman fallacy. No true Scotsman fallacy. It's just like, oh, they'll get it right. No, they won't. They'll never get it right.
I'm talking about, I made a YouTube video on YouTube about YouTube content.
Yeah.
I didn't make a petition and send it to Congress. I didn't petition the White House. I didn't call the cops.
You went to the report. You went to the media. You went to the media
about YouTube shit.
You went to the media.
Self-regulation.
You went to the media. That's
I'm
not
okay with self-regulation. Are you okay with self-regulation?
What? Yeah, in some senses, yes. Depends on the situation. It's a little more nuanced than that. Yeah, sure. I like the fact that
doesn't commentary sometimes call.
But you know what self-regulation is? You know what self-regulation is? It's hate mobs. That's what self-regulation is, and everybody's against hate mobs. So,
I'm certainly not trying to start a hate mob.
No, I don't think you're trying to do that. But
didn't he say he wants to take down Jake Paul?
Yeah, I would disagree. I think he is creating a hate mob against the Lele Pons and Jake Paul for sure.
I guess the distinction 100%. Is he wants to take them down with regulation, but then that would imply that he wants it. But this is so fucking. Can you guys start to see the pattern here? The circles that they're endlessly drawn. You know, when you play this and you listen to it and you play everything else, and it's the same conversation. I understand if some people are getting a little upset now because of the repetition. I get that, but you know, it's what started off as very hot, very unpopular take. I hope is starting to sound a little more reasonable here. You know, the take that me and Nick and Bo Blacks and Tommy and Tipster all have. No issue with Nerd City, but his policies are inconsistent. Somebody said earlier in the chat that it looks like Nerd City just wants to be liked by everyone. I don't. That's a bit of a jump for me to jump to just now. But it certainly seems that way, right? Because, you know, he'll say one thing in front of Keemstar, in front of Adam. On the night he's getting the most heat from Nick, and then, like, you know, he'll go on Tommy or something, and he'll try to, like, he's like wording stuff in a way that it seems like he's trying to, like, sound the most reasonable to the audience. But even the audience is starting to get confused and be like, okay, like, what are you talking about?
I honestly think he's still trying to figure stuff out for himself in regards to his stance on a lot of these things. He doesn't have like a solid opinion yet, and he's just trying to figure it out. And because he's figuring it out as he's talking about it, it changes from like,
trying, like not to look
time to time. Like at one time he might think this, at another time he might think this. And generally he's trying to get to like the same point. I don't think he's trying to lie or be disingenuous, but I just don't think he knows what he's talking about. I see like three major things. There's three major problems I have with Nerd City here, and his whole philosophy is: number one, he doesn't understand COPA at all. Number two, he thinks regulations can be kind of more nuanced and not as harsh like that. Oh, we can have some regulations, but it won't fuck over everyone if we do it a certain way. No, it's either going to be we're fucked or there's no regulations at all. And number three, he thinks YouTube commentators need to self-police each other when it comes to like major things like the law or whatever. Like I think it's fine to be like, hey, this guy's being a bit of a douchebag, let's laugh at him and make a YouTube video. But I really don't believe in the whole like commentators really need to self-police each other. And that's a whole philosophy that kind of started based off a Content Cop, because I guess IDub kind of popularized the trend of like keeping people accountable through humorous YouTube videos. And I think iDubbbz does a great job of that, but I think you can definitely go too far with it, and I think that's what Nerd City's doing. He's going too far with it. Also, shut the fuck Eric. Shut the fuck up, Eric, in the chat, you piece of shit.
Everyone who's saying Nerd City's the new Content Cop. I saw like Mundane Matt say that, which is, you know, funny enough, but I hope not. Because Content Cop was entertainment. It's exactly what we're saying nerds should be. You know? Like, stick to the jokes.
Even if that's true about him wanting to be liked by
Yeah,
everyone, no one
you're
hates
going
him.
too grand. You're going too
We're
grand. You
just
need to
bringing
scale
our
it back
concerns
in
about
terms of
his
like
videos to
content
him.
creator
It's
criticism.
critique,
You don't need
not
to get into the
hatred.
law.
Yeah. Tipster Tossin 10. I would mostly agree with that, but I'm not gonna lie. I was fucking, and I still kind of am pissed at a comedy made, but that might be personal bias getting in the way or whatever. I don't know. The point is stick to the jokes, man. Like, that's the best part. Like, Content Cop ended, and some would argue even was ruined by this overarching mentality. You know, as much as people want to say, like, they hate cancel culture, human beings, like, they love it. They might not, but there is, like, a bit in their DNA that enjoys the crusade, the absolute destruction. You know, there's a reason we used to watch fucking people get eaten by lions or
IDubbbz is a
something.
vigilante. Nerd City is a snitch.
That mentality that people like ruined it and stopped it, probably. That's my speculation. It probably stopped Content Cop because IDubbbz was like, I don't want to be the destroyer. I just want to make a few jokes at some other people's expense, you know? Simple stuff here. This mentality of, yeah, we want a YouTube guy who's going to go in and just, you know, wreck these people with the law and with these regulations. It's not safe. Like, this is YouTube. It's supposed to be kind of dumb and stupid and dorky or whatever. It's not supposed to get to the level of like, yeah, let's get a guy who's gonna just own these guys, you know? It's just like, just to tell some jokes, man. That's all I want to see. I don't really care about like
YouTuber. I think a great comparison is like with all these pedos, with all the pedo stuff, like and false rape accusations that we keep talking about. It's like YouTubers aren't the police, so stop acting like the police to other content creators and just criticize them on their content or their douchey attitude or something like that. Stop being the police. You're not the cops. You're not the judge. You know? That's it.
That's probably the second most effective thing. That's self-regulation. Essentially what we call hate mobs.
Don't paint me as cancel culture.
No, I'm not at all. You're going right to the government. You're going right, or you're not manipulating anybody.
No, I'm not going right to the government. See, I just said I haven't gone to the government at all.
You
keep saying that I did.
I think by going to the news media, you're going to the government. It's just that,
by talking with journalists.
Yes.
Like, so that's a completely separate thing. So journalism is continuing to attack YouTube and try to damage it because we're competing for the same.
And you gave them a weapon, and you handed them a nuclear weapon.
Begrudgingly, I talked to journalists.
That is the fucking craziest part of it, because he lays out our argument, right? That the media doesn't like YouTube because it's competing with it, so we can't give them ammo to take down YouTube. And then he just said, I begrudgingly gave it to them. For the kids? What he... Oh my god, that statement was like, that is the climax. That is the peak to this entire fucking drama right there. But just that segment, you could boil it down all to that segment and just post it on Twitter. Even more so than the clip that Nick posted with the eagle. Like that. Whew. God. That is, the media when they get a YouTube nuke from Nerd City. Woo! Trump begrudgingly gave the nuke codes to Iran.
Remember, guys, Abraham Lincoln wasn't anti-slavery. He just saw regulation coming 5 years ahead.
We have so many fucking Nerd City memes. Oh my god. And another one's coming up in the stream. Don't you worry, we're not done. There's gonna be another one.
I hate this.
Man, this whole Nerd City shit, at the end of the day, this is some fun drama, man.
I love that song so much. We gotta get through this. We gotta. Lionel tossed a link. I will go ahead and. By the way, I'm using the Brave browser, so just thought I'd show that for no reason. I will put that link in there, and we'll take a look at that later. What the hell is going on? What tab am I on? Oh, okay. I'm on the Willie Mac tab. I was like, what the hell am I looking at? This is not Nerd City. All right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you did a big run. You did it. You just admitted it.
We should be talking to journalists.
Oh, fuck that. Are you crazy? You don't think
fuck journalists, but we should be talking to them.
Yeah, talk to the media.
Or you're out of your mind. Oh,
let's tell the Wall Street Journal that PewDiePie's fucking up. I think that will help us.
To be fair, I don't think that's
the same argument. Yeah, I feel like it's similar though. It's just like it's about the kids and the regulation. It's a different topic, but it's essentially like, hey, this YouTuber's fucking up media. Do what you do with it, you know.
Okay, not that. I'm joking. It's just a joke. Chill.
That's not a golden rule, Tommy, that we shouldn't talk to journalists. What that is a result of them being unfair.
Let me tell you something. A journalist ever comes to me for any reason, I'm not talking to him. No. I have seen every single person ever that's ever been, contacted by the media. They're not doing it mostly to help your channel. Now I just see, like, Crimson Studios got a shout out from, like, some article or something. Like, that's, like, a whole separate case or whatever. But if they're coming to you asking about regulation, they do not have your best interest in mind. If you genuinely want to protect YouTube or to protect the kids, you love YouTube, but you just hate, like, the certain people on it. Like, the media is not going to understand. They're not going to be on your side. They're not going to be the force you need to, implement positive change. You never talk to the media. Don't feed them anything. Journalist ever comes to me, I'll tell them to eat my shit. That's just they're not good people. I wanted to be a journalist for a while. That's what I was, looking at when in high school or whatever. I was looking at career paths or whatever. I was like journalist. I like to write. I like to report. I know it doesn't make a lot of money, but hey, fuck it, dude. Like, why not? But over the course of me just kind of paying attention to just things that happen, the news, things around my world, I quickly realized this is not a profession that is, unless you're doing it on your own, and even still, just because you're self-made private journalist, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a good guy instantly, you know what I mean? It's just not a good profession. I don't want... God help me if there's ever a day where we need the media to help us. It's just not gonna work. You decide to be an e-boy? What is that? Fucking... How? What do you mean, Luna Lizzie? If I ever do journalism, it's gonna be like... And when I say journalism, it's gonna be just private stuff I do on this channel. I'm not gonna fucking... become one of those scumbags. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Now, I did put closet e-journalist in my bio, but that was mostly as a joke, because somebody wrote me that on Twitter the other day, and I was like, that's pretty funny. I'll put that in the bio. I don't know. E-boy, how? What if the show was sponsored by the media? Funny you mentioned. Oh, damn, I already deleted the tab. I was going to play the flute music. I know. Drop him. He's a racist answer. It's a joke! All right, it's a joke! Chill, all right? You guys should know by now. Boblox is mad distracted tonight with that dead air. Nah, I think he's just admitted defeat. I've conquered the airlines.
Oh no, I just left to take a huge piss, dude.
Nice, dude. Dude, when I start the show, like I used to just sit here and actually just like listen to the music, and like now I'll just like sit there and fucking take a piss and just read the chat. Just look at all these little queers waiting for the show to start. Anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, A-Star, you're the guy who wrote me that. Good to see you in the chat here. I thought that was funny as fuck, so I put that in the bio. Clause E journalist. This is basically well, not the show, but like when I do videos and shit, they're basically like journalism. Opinionated, that is, but still. Anyway, let's keep going.
Fair to PewDiePie. So now nobody talks to journalists. And that means that they'll continue to attack us without...
Why do you think nobody talks to journalists?
He's saying that like he can convince journalists to not attack YouTube, but he opened up the argument with saying that they attack YouTube because it's their competitor. So I don't know. Does YouTube not become their competitor because Nerd City talks nicely to them? Like, I don't understand.
That's horseshit. Nah, that's your appeasement.
If we talk to them,
this is appeasement.
Give them our side of the story.
This is an argument of appeasement. We fundamentally disagree. I don't think they should be talked to. I think, I honestly, I think things have gotten a lot better for Donald Trump since he stopped doing a daily press briefing. No, they're the enemies. They have an agenda. They literally, you're like, here's my nuclear. I'm giving you a nuclear weapon so you don't drop a nuclear weapon on where I live. That's what happened.
The other thing is, I don't think that regulators and politicians are reading YouTube culture articles.
But they don't care. They care about power. Articles. You are putting way too much trust in the news media and politicians. They don't care. They're going to rig the laws to the way they see fit.
There's another problem here, and it's communication between YouTube and YouTubers. We don't have a way to contact YouTube and be like, hey, this is a problem with my channel, with someone else's channel, with whatever, and get a real response. Like, you know what I'm talking about. We don't have an open line of communication. Unless you're the largest creator, you have no way to talk to YouTube.
Sure.
So unfortunately, because there's so many boomers in YouTube, all they pay attention to is the press. Even though these articles are getting less hits, less views than a fucking H3H3 video, they don't watch the H3 video. They read an article in Polygon. So it's like the only way you can talk to them sometimes is by talking to a journalist. Then all of a sudden you get a response. That's not ideal. That sucks. But I'm just dealing with the situation as it is.
I got a question.
I got to be honest with you. I like this comparison. You're not going to like this, nerd, but Nerd City is Neville Chamberlain and Tommy's Winston Churchill.
All right. That's pretty good. Oh, my God. We don't have a way to contact YouTube, so let's go crying to the mainstream media to get the government to make YouTube listen. My older brother is...
No. He was saying more so... like, I'm going to talk to the media because YouTube listens to the media, not other YouTubers, which, I mean, I think that's true. I mean, it's worked in practice. I think that's, like, a pretty good point. He brought up that YouTube doesn't have open communication, but I think that's hardly a reason to be doing what he's doing, but YouTube does need better communication between their creators. If the only way that creators can get in contact with YouTube is making a video, giving it to the mainstream media, and then them looking at the mainstream media.
Yeah. That's fucking stupid. That's just all. That's my entire take for tonight. If you just want to clip one thing, you don't have time to watch the whole show. That's your clip. All right. I don't know. If you want to create outrage in the media that YouTube will listen to without harming anyone, focus on moral issues. What do you mean, Lana? Because that's subjective. Don't try to put people in jail. Well, like the moral issues of like...
Oh, yeah, talking about like, hey, this YouTuber's a douchebag rather than, hey, this YouTuber broke the law.
I don't know. Don't create outrage in the media. Don't. Please.
Find some other way to contact YouTube. Just find another way.
Please do not talk to the media, okay?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Okay, so apparently the only way to talk to YouTube is through making an article on mainstream media, which is probably a way to get in contact with YouTube, a legitimate way that works. Maybe try and find another way instead of using the way that could fuck up the entire platform.
Just don't know what the goal is here.
The goal to put in regulations that are not the regulations that we got.
Did he lie?
His whole argument is flawed because he doesn't understand how COPA works. So it's just flawed fundamentally.
Isn't this guy like the big researcher?
Yeah.
That's great.
He's just confused. I think he's confusing COPPA with other child TV regulation laws. Because COPPA stands for Child Online Privacy Protection Act. Online privacy protection, which is data and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with, oh, this video is
Journalists have been mostly hostile towards YT creators.
Disguised as made for adults.
What makes him think that he can change that by himself?
It's about
this guy
taking
either
data
has a
from
god
videos
complex
that
or wants to
watch.
spur shit again.
It's that simple.
Thank you, Lenny, for the $20 donation. That's very generous. You've given like 120 tonight. That is far more than I could ever ask for. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that, my man. And yeah, God complex or wants to. I don't know what he wants. I don't know if he wants. I don't know if he knows what he wants to do. This is weird. At the very least, though, I am glad that what was at the start a very unpopular take, it's kind of making a lot more sense to people. I'm curious to see if we get a single person. Put a 1 in the chat if when you first heard this anti-Nerd City argument, you were just like, they're losing it, they don't got me. But now you're kind of seeing like, our point here. I'm curious. I don't know if there's gonna be a single 1 in the chat. I just want to know if like somebody was in here and was like, they're I don't agree with them on this one at all. And then now you've kind of seen like, okay, yeah, this doesn't look good. I'm just curious. I don't know. We got 2, 3. Damn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's more than I thought. 9, 10. Jesus. Well, there you go. I wasn't expecting that. Well, I'm not going to take credit for that at all. I mean, Nerd's done the work for us, This is not us, like, BTFOing him. You sit him in a call, kind of let him go on and see what happens.
Yeah. I'm glad he finally did this call with Tommy, because now we have, like, a direct example of what he actually means, because Tommy basically asked all the criticisms of him, and he answered all of them, and now we have, like, a good sense of what Nerd City stands for on all these regulations and rules and everything. There's no more questions, essentially. So.
Yeah. I'm just looking at a certain chat of ours because I know he was mad at. If you guys saw my Twitter earlier today, you know that I was fired up. I was ready to fight. Me and Nerd City actually had a little bit of a tussle in the chat. I'm not gonna like release DMs. It doesn't even matter. It's not important. But yeah, he was like, "Yo, what's up?" And I was like, "What's up?" We'll get into that in just a moment.
That's the way.
At RFC, would you guys like to have Tommy and Nerd on the show, or are y'all good? I mean, Nerd has an open invite. Nerd can come on whenever he wants. Tommy can come on whenever he wants. I don't know why they would want to, but hey, if the option's there, I'll take anyone. I am as free-form and casual as it gets, You're never going to see me, talk a lot of shit about somebody and then be like, oh, I don't want to speak to them on my show. Unless they're, like, irrelevant as hell or something. If I'm making fun of somebody with 2 followers, he's like, let me on the show! And I'm just like, yeah, okay, buddy. But, I'd only do that just to spite them. They can come on whenever they want. They can come on. A little bit of a tussle. It was brutal. Did you think it was? Did you think it was brutal? I thought it was pretty fair to him, I thought it was a very basic conversation. I didn't think it was like, we just, like, destroyed each other, I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's the way I feel about this situation. Neville Chamberlain was a great Englishman. He meant the best. And
the comparison somebody made. This is funny.
He pretty much is responsible for enticing the Nazis to bomb their country.
Like,
I want to stand up
everything
to them.
in black and white. You're like.
So did Chamberlain.
You're anti-stabbing and you're also anti-stop and frisk. How can those two things be possible? It's like because there's nuance to that. Because you don't think the implementation of the rule of stop and frisk is appropriate.
I don't think
stop
in this.
stabbing.
No, I think there is nuance. We've already agreed to this. There's nuance to it. I just don't. I think in this particular situation, you are dead wrong working with these people and inviting them in, and you will continue to get the results that you don't like. And you're going to say it's not my fault, but I just keep making these videos. That's inviting. Do you realize how powerful you are?
Congressman.
Do you realize how powerful you are? Do you realize how powerful you are? I don't know if you do because you are a humble person. Do you have any idea?
There's no evidence that the regulators. So, look, if the FTC, I hope this doesn't happen. If the FTC is to say we saw this Nerd City video and that's why we're cracking down on the X, Y, and Z channel, then Holy shit. Now
that's like somebody who makes like edgy videos or something, and then like somebody shoots up a school and writes their name in the manifesto. That's like it's like the same weight, the same amount of weight. I'm kidding, of course. I'm joking, but yeah, just imagine.
Jake or Lele or whatever can blame me for their fine, for causing it or for ratting them out. But so far, I mean, we're talking about a complaint that happened in New York about a toy channel and about tracking of children. There's been no mention of me.
Lele is not who you have to worry about. It Logan Paul, but you don't got to worry about them. You don't got to worry about Bobax or Augie or Tommy C. You have to worry about some ordinary gamer.
That's a lot
and
of money,
critical.
I guess, for
That's
a person of color.
This is my donation coming in, by the way. I said journalists do not have your best interest in mind. They want to see you burn, nerd, which is true.
Probably because if they see it one day, that's where you're going to have the serious problem, not the low-level drama guys. And they're going to do a lot better job than me. They're going to do a lot better job than me. And you might even see a clip of this video in there.
And if that happens, what I would say at that point is like, you brought this on yourself by what you were doing. You're blaming the messenger at that point. Because I didn't actually send
who's going to buy
FCC.
that if they're not doing it? No one's going to buy that if they weren't doing it. Yet now they're being affected by something because
that's a lot of money.
The government can continue to take more and more power. What they're going to say was you were wrong. You were wrong by saying you can have nuance and regulation, and you got to own up to that. That's what they're going to say. They're not going to sit there and your defense. Your defense is like that is literally what, dude. It's hold on a second. Your defense is the like Donald Trump shot the plane down in Iran.
No, that's not what I'm. If someone is affected by the implementation of this who is not breaking the law, then they should be pointing their fingers at the person who brought that attention to them by violating the fucking existing law, not the person who was like, yo, stop doing this. It's against the law.
If they look at things like I do, nobody looks at things like that. They think most people see things in black and white. if they start saying themselves like I am right now, if I could have lived with Jake Paul, then no, you're getting the blame.
Well,
I mean, this is a
like. I don't think it's fair to say, but what you
it might not be fair at all.
Defending what Lele's doing.
I don't care. No. I'm not defending it all. I don't care. I think it's that big a deal. You think it's a big deal. I don't. That's why you have the robe and the collar, and I don't in the picture. You think it's. I don't think it's that big a deal because I can control my kids' wife.
Part of that is what it comes down to.
And I don't accept that your TV. I don't accept that the TV.
Whatever. Like let the kids fucking smoke and have.
That's
sex
not what I said. You're completely misrepresenting what I said. I said I do parenting, and I can't be responsible for some other fucking kid. I'm taking care of my own shit. I don't need you. I don't need your ideas. I don't need your parenting. I don't need the fucking government. I can do it myself. I really can. I could have watched.
You weren't a target audience for that Lele Pons video.
No, but my daughter is, and I saw, and I didn't see any of the stuff that you're talking about that she was watching. And it's awful.
No, then you weren't the target audience for my Lele Pons video. If you didn't need that to know that that's what Lele's doing,
yeah, but I know what you bring. Yeah, okay. Thanks for alerting the idiots. Thanks for alerting the reactionaries. And all the good they're going to do from here on out. No, this is never going to end bad.
So you're shooting the messenger here.
I'm not shooting the messenger. Shooting you at all. I'm disagreeing with you. I think this is a terrible mistake for the platform, but I do believe that you were totally sincere and you think this is best for the platform. But you know what? That's not what this stream was about. The stream was about you want your cake and eat it too. It is not about Lele Pons. And I mentioned that at the top of the thing when I brought up your thing that you keep up. We barely brought up Lele Pons yesterday, Dave and I did. This is not about Lele. This is about.
No, you've been taking shots at me all week.
Well, first of all, no, I took shots at you yesterday. I haven't been doing anything all week. I took a shot at you last week. But those are goofs, man. If you can't take a goof, that's your problem.
No, I'm taking goofs, but you're referencing it. Like you're building up to having this conversation.
So what? Well, I wish you would. You've turned me down for 700 interviews. I would have loved to have this conversation before.
This is where it gets personal, at least in my opinion, from my interpretation. Because now we're talking about shows and stuff like that. And by the way, I let a lot of chunk of that play without commentary, just because I feel like we kind of been commentated over this. It's also getting close to the 2-hour mark, and I usually like to book it then. But this is the part So we've kind of we've established, you know, all the Copa stuff. We've, in my opinion, over-established all of that.
Yeah.
Now it's just getting to pure autism. You know what I mean? Let's keep going.
I have not.
Yes, you have. You're so fucking busy. What are you talking about? You didn't ever want to come here and talk.
I was telling you.
The only way I got you on last year. The only way I have ever gotten you on the show on these two circumstances. And by the way, you have every right not to be on the show. When people were criticizing your content, I offered you an interview. And I could go through my DMs and find them well before you put out the Jake Paul video, and you said you couldn't do it.
I think you just said something like, "Why haven't you been on the show?" And I was like, "I'm waiting for maximum impact." I think I said something like that. And what I
think you did say something. You did.
But here's what I said to Dave yesterday. I said, "Isn't it kind of a shame that like all Tommy would have had to do is been like, hey nerd, I saw your video yesterday. I thought it was really funny. Like, do you want to come on the show and talk about it?" And I would have said sure. And then I would have.
I think the day that you came on my show,
I would have been on the show. But instead, you left me in the audience. Like, you left me sitting on the.
Wait a minute. I'd asked you prior to that. And I think the day, if I'm not remembering, say back in September or October of 2018, I asked you to be on the show, and you said no. And as the show went on, you became more and more irritated, and then came on. So this is not my fault.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all.
I think probably the chats are saved.
The entire thing. So like we had talked about, here's how the timeline unfolded. Oh, Jesus Christ. So I showed you this Jake Paul video a couple days ahead of time, and we talked about the potential for regulation, whether I should make adjustments to it. And then I go live with it like the next day or something.
I think it was a couple hours.
Almost immediately after that, Nick drops a video that's very fucking inflammatory. It calls me Dr. Douchebag. It says, "You fucked up." It's like, "Here's what Nerd City got wrong." And you go live with that, play that video, and start yelling at me.
No, I didn't yell at you at all at that video. Now you're really off because I'll tell you. But I was shocked. No. And there's a clip.
Tommy, I went back and rewatched the stream recently. I think I watched it like when we first started going at Nerd City like a couple months ago. I went back and rewatched that stream. Tommy was actually, at least from my interpretation, I don't want to say like more. I think he was more critical. I'm trying to remember. I honestly think he was more critical of Nick than Nerd in that stream.
Yeah, I believe it was either equal or he was more critical.
Yeah, it was either. It was definitely
like
equal, but it might have been more on. I remember he was like a little like, I don't want to say like harsh, but he was definitely like more on Nick's case than Nerd's. Although he agreed with Nick's main point, he was more like aggressive towards Nick, but not in like a hostile way, obviously, because they're friends. But like, you know, you get what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Criticism, not taking him down.
Yeah. Criticism. You know, the other, not you know, ruining someone or going at someone's lively. Fucking gay. This is so gay.
The famous clip to prove it. I was trying to play neutral when you were going to argue with Verst, and you were the one that told him to shut up. So it was. If you go back to that, I was trying to balance both ends. And I did not at any time. I did not take Nick's side 100% on that.
Misleading, and you had created this graphic that said Nerd City versus Nick, which I think has never.
We already discussed this.
That got burned.
Wait, you made the thumbnail? That's the offensive part.
Nerd City versus Nick. Well, that's what it was. What do you mean?
Nerd City versus.
I was so offended that you said Nerd City.
You guys know what the thumbnail is for this stream? Go to my channel right here. This is the thumbnail for our stream right here. It's just, I looked this up on Google. It's just, is Nerd gonna have an issue with this? It's just him looking like depressed or something sad. This is a funny thumbnail.
How dare you say bombed on SFDP? It wasn't a bomb. I'm offended.
Is that an offensive?
I brought up some valid points in that stream. I'm offended that you would say I bombed it.
Burned into his brain, and it's never fucking melted away.
No, from you. Nobody else cared that much. You did. That's you being sensitive. Nobody went out. Nobody's out to get you. Look, I know you have this. I know you have this because you said this to me privately that I'm like some kind of fucking puppet master. But I got to be honest with you. It's just criticism. It's not a conspiracy, Nerd City.
What I said is that there are people who are downstream of your opinion, and I would include Nick and Bo Blacks and Augie as people who are influenced by the things that you say.
Nope. Never have I once been influenced by Tommy and copied his opinion. Ever. we've had the same opinion, but I come to that conclusion completely independent of Tommy fucking C, the guy who has openly hated on me, and I've openly hated on him. Just because me and Tommy have the same opinion doesn't mean I'm a downward, like, Tommy says something and I listen to it, and that's why I listen to it. If anything, it's...
Let me...
Oh my god. Like...
Let me go into the chat real quick.
If anything, most of the opinions originate from Nick. He says it and then I agree. Typically, that's how it happens. But even then, like, it's not like I agree because Nick said it. Although I respect his opinion a lot, it's just I happen to agree with it.
I'm scrolling in here right now. I was pissed. I was mad. And you want to know why? It's a stab. Let's just be honest here. You know, he's basically saying like, yeah, they're not even like worth talking about because they're just Tommy C too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, dude. After I was just Tommy C fucking too, dude.
Yeah.
Where his sloppy seconds, dude? Where his leftovers, dude?
I wrote this. I said I wouldn't release DMs, and I still maintain that. But I will read what I wrote him because my DM, I'm allowed to. You know, I can release. I can release, you know, if I want to, yeah, sure. So I wrote him and I said, "Nerd, stop pretending like you watched my show. I almost never show Tommy's content on my channel, only when it relates to me. Now I know we just watched a bunch of Tommy's content, but that's because it relates to me." There you go. It also relates to a story that we've covered multiple times on this channel. I wrote, "It's disingenuous to go on stream and say all of us are Tommy's leftovers, basically. Yeah, I'm mad. If you want to know the truth, this started from Nick making a point that I agree with, and I tossed my 2 cents into it. Because I'm not a big fan of regulations, or journalists for that matter. Big surprise! You know, who would be shocked by this? I was angry, dude. I was pissed. Because it's a direct attack, basically, on, if you say, like...
Good show, Tommy Jr. and side piece.
Yeah, thank you. It's basically saying, like... You know, this show's not even worth discussing. Bo Black's points, you know, all of Nick's points, they're all just orbiters around Tommy C. Like, they're all just are heavily influenced by what Tommy C says, and they're like, you know, little kids who were, you know, super big fans of Tommy C, and they're just reiterating all the same arguments. It's exactly what I wrote. It's disingenuous, you know, it's kind of an attack on my credibility, because, you know, to argue that I'm basically just... You know, another Tommy C clone. Yeah, I do take that pretty seriously. You know, that's a dig. You know what I mean? And, you know, I've gone at him and I said he can't take criticism. Well, you know, I've lobbied some attacks. Fair enough. He lobbed one back at me. But I'm just saying, hey, not the case. And I look at that as shutting down, you know, differing standpoints here. You know, it's just shutting down the criticism. He is and I wrote this, and it was a little harsh, but I wrote on Twitter, Nerd City is like everything I hate about big YouTubers. Little hot, not gonna lie. But I've said this over and over again. Big YouTubers, they just will, you know, dismiss your arguments over, you know, sub count or whatever. They won't respond directly because they want to sit there and like protect like this like grand image that they built for themselves, and it's stupid. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I got triggered. All right, you can make the argument. I admit all the time I get triggered all the time. I'm always getting triggered. But yeah, I think that's we're gonna leave it off here. If you want to watch the whole thing, I'm gonna leave it off at a cliffhanger. I'm sure chat, you know, they want to see the rest of the blood sports there. But I'm going to leave it off at a cliffhanger for a couple reasons. Firstly, we've hit the 2-hour mark. It's about time to wrap up the show. And secondly...
I had no idea the musical artist Tommy C is that kind of fella, LMAO.
No, they're different people. The Tommy C music artist and Tommy C are 2 different people. I will say this. I'm ending it off kind of because it's the end of the show. But also, I played a bunch of Tommy's content. And if you want to see the rest of the thing, go to Tommy's channel. Watch Tommy C in his stream here. Here's the link for you guys. You want to see the whole thing, it's right there. Real talk in the chat. What's going on, man? Damn, nerd, that was kind of bogus. I'd say so. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. We filled about the 2-hour mark here, so I think we're gonna end off our little Tales of Tism right here. Actually, that's not yet. Actually, I know. Line had wanted me to watch something, and then Nick the Oreo wanted me to watch something. Yeah. Okay, yeah, just some good old memes real quick.
Regulator, Nerf gun, flute.
What is this? Oh, the flute.
Yeah, regulator,
MTV?
Nerf gun, flute, MTV, and the yacht or the cruise ship.
The cruise ship. What is that reference?
That's a reference to like the absurd analogy he did in the first stream. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's great.
There's a lot of Nerd City memes. Like, I don't think Nerd City's a bad guy, but like, goddamn, we got some great memes out of this dude, and I love it. At the end of the day, this drama is like, it's just all fun, man.
Let me open up Nick the Oreo's DM he sent me earlier. Oh, excuse me. Let's take a look here. This is Nerd City. You say you don't want to deplatform anyone, but yet your statement you said that YouTube should take them out of trending so they can't grow anymore. Let's take a look at this right here. Let me refresh my Twitter because it's buffering.
I think you don't want them on the internet. I think that's the difference between me and you.
No, I see. I'm not trying to deplatform Lele Pons or Jake Paul. The videos always stop short of saying anything like that. Even with Daddy of Five and Tasha Mama.
You went through a list. I think you don't want them.
Okay. Horianis responsibly also want YouTube to get Lele off the trending page every day of the week and out of recommended feed of kids so she stops growing this young audience even bigger. Yeah. I think that's a good way to end it off. You know, just really sell home the point.
Yeah, he just contradicts himself a lot, man. And he says it's a nuanced opinion, but I don't really think you can have nuance on some of the things he says, especially when it comes to YouTube implementing solutions to COPPA, because you can't have a solution to COPPA that involves not taking away stuff that involves kids' data, as I said many times, so his argument is fundamentally flawed.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the Monday show. I almost said Friday. We got 2 more to go before the end of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Listen, hit like if you enjoyed that. I got to give a big shout out to the big donators. Habana Bay. Let me open this real quick. Habana Bay tossing the 100. Where was it? Come on now. It's not loading for me anymore. Damn it. Habana Bay tossing the big 100. Lenny the Shark tossing a bunch. Of course, H. Kashinder tossing a bunch. Tipster tossing a bunch. You guys came through and gave me a legendary night tonight, and I just greatly appreciate that more than you guys even realize. I don't show it a lot on stream because I'm trying not to, be a shill or, be all Phil DeFranco, but it genuinely does mean a lot, so I do appreciate that, everyone. Boblax, you got anything you want to pledge? Or not pledge.
Or promote?
Shout out,
yeah,
promote,
sure.
plug.
Yeah. My next video is probably going to be a Nerd City compilation. I'll just compile all the info so you guys have a nice, compact way to see all the information and make your own opinion. Of course, unbiased video, as always. And I have recently launched some merch, so if you guys want to buy some Boblack stuff, there's Boblack socks, as many of people pointed out on Twitter. They're going to use it for very nefarious purposes.
The best part about
I would recommend you don't. But
the best part about the Boblack socks, he sells them in black, which is what you all saw on Twitter, but he also sells them in white, and it doesn't even have his logo on it. You can literally buy plain white socks that you could get at like a bargain bin at Walmart, like used or something. It's Boblack socks, but there's no Boblacks. It's just socks.
Hey, if you want to buy some normal socks and support me at the same time, you can go to the merch store.
Teesprings.
If you want Boblacks on it, get the black ones.
Boblax. There you go. Get yourself some Boblax merch.
There's also-
Genuinely though, I will say he does have some good merch. Matter of fact, I'll go in and just pull it up right now. He does have some good merch. I was actually impressed because he hit me up asking for help with designs, and then he already like whipped some good stuff up anyway. So he's got. Whoa, you went full on a pillow,
Yeah, I just put
a phone
everything, dude.
case. There's Sonic, a green one, long sleeve.
Dude, I
shirt
put
for the
everything
winter.
on Sonic, dude.
keep
I love the
yourself
Sonic
warm.
design so much, dude.
You can get a
You have a little
handbag.
Sonic bag, dude, so you know you're a big Sonic fan.
Yeah, tank top with that. Get yourself a sticker.
Dude, you could raise your child right by getting them a Sonic onesie.
If you're
You know?
pink pilled, you can get yourself something. Yeah, you can go on.
Yeah,
this
dude.
one. You went nuts with it. Yeah, check that out. Boblax.
Oh, yeah.
Teespring.com//Boblax.
Yeah, I had to type in Fast Blue Hedgehog because I initially said Sonic Twitter, and then they're like, nope, that's copyright. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to call it Fast Blue Hedgehog. Hopefully I don't get fucked for that. I feel like the design's unique enough, but yeah.
Hopefully Nerd City won't come around and get them get them regulations up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We thought all
Hopefully
yards
the
sound about
regulators
that.
don't come.
Hey, I got some new merch coming soon, and I got some cool designs coming up. So be on the lookout for that.
Boblax laughing sounds like a straw sliding through a plastic lid. To believe that he is responsible for the return of sock garters for men.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, my laugh is pretty unique.
All right, guys. We're going to get out of here. I'm going to hop out of the call. I'll talk to you later, man. You have a good night.
See ya.
Boys, we're out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed it.